They say Africa is poor. That lie only works if you ignore history. Because nobody crosses oceans, builds empires, and starts wars over land that has nothing. They invade wealth. Long before foreign flags ever touched African soil, this continent was already financing the world, and not with charity, but with control. For centuries, West Africa held the largest gold reserves on Earth. The gold was so abundant and so well regulated that exporting raw gold dust was illegal without royal approval. This wasn't some ancient superstition, it was economic intelligence. Europe didn't create wealth, it waited for Africa to release it. In 1324, one man, Mansa Musa, the ruler of Mali, single-handedly exposed this truth. He traveled across North Africa with so much gold that entire economies collapsed under its weight. Prices skyrocketed, markets broke. It took years for them to recover. That's not a myth. That is financial dominance on a global scale. And while Europe was burning books and fearing knowledge, Africa was preserving it. Timbuktu wasn't just a desert outpost. It was a global intellectual capital. It had universities, libraries, and hundreds of thousands of manuscripts on medicine, mathematics, astronomy, and law. Africa wasn't waiting to be educated, it was already teaching. This continent was connected long before it was colonized. Trans-Saharan trade routes moved gold and salt across empires. The Swahili city-states on the eastern coast traded with Arabia, India, and even China. In fact, Chinese records describe African diplomats arriving as equals, not as subjects. Europe didn't introduce Africa to trade. It inserted itself into a system that was already thriving. Africa had governments, courts, tax systems, and standing armies. When European visitors first arrived in Benin City, they were shocked to find paved streets, advanced urban planning, and massive defensive walls at a time when European cities were still drowning in their own waste. So, they didn't conquer savages, they dismantled competitors. The shift didn't start with chains. It started with contracts. Trade turned into monopoly, partnership turned into control, and then came the transatlantic slave trade, economic warfare disguised as commerce. Millions were stolen, labor systems were destroyed, entire states were destabilized. Africa didn't just lose its people, it lost its momentum. Colonialism finished the job. Borders were drawn without logic, splitting communities and creating conflict. Local industries were dismantled, railways were built to lead to ports, not to connect communities. The education system was designed to train clerks, not innovators. Africa became a rich land full of poor people, and after everything was taken, the story changed. Africa was called lazy, corrupt, incapable, because admitting the truth would mean admitting guilt. Africa was never poor, it was robbed, and the world is still profiting from pretending otherwise. Thanks for watching. If this changed your perspective, hit that subscribe button for more truths that history tried to hide.